So our today's topic is understanding of God. Okay, we are not explaining God; we are understanding. Okay, because this is a wonderful, aspect. Most we use the God, millions of times. The word God. Unfortunately, the word God, and there is another word which is also misinterpreted or many form, that is love. The word God and word love, they are used millions of times and with wonderfully expanded variety of understanding part. So today we'll focus on that of God. You might have noticed during when I explain anything, I intentionally don't mention God. Okay. Except that God bless you type of thing, that is a different. But when explaining, I don't bring God into the picture. The reason is this. Reason is, it is so different to so many people. Then the moment you say God, the people start downloading their idea of God and trying to compare what I'm saying with that. So to avoid this kind of misunderstanding, I used some terminology which is normally not used, so that you don't have a chance to bring that in and compare. That is a universal consciousness. Okay. So we'll come to that one later on. So first, just let us understand that why we need God. Okay. And first of all, this I will, even though I will explain last ages or primitive time, when the human being will live in a cave and going hunting and getting their food and from the forest, etc. From there, so they were surviving, and they become awestruck seeing the nature, the power of the nature, the thundering coming, flood coming, so many things happening, earthquake happening, volcanoes are happening. So from all these things, they need to protect themselves. It is a survival instinct. So they created one entity, okay, which will protect them, which is very powerful, even powerful than all what they see in the nature. So that was the first instinct to having entity like a God. And it is completely mystery, who is it and where it is and all, nothing. Whether it's a human form or something form, there is no, the intellect has not developed that much to intellectually analyze it. It is something need a greater power to protect, to survive, first to survive. A second part came, the next level is to protect. Whatever they wanted to do, some process or asking or calling or, you can say praying also, the lower version of praying that protect from that. So first is that it came from the survival instinct, and then it become the protector. There's the first level, because that's what the need came. Because there was so much, the ancient, not ancient, even the caveman and all these stages, they have so much of thing they can threat their survival. The animal, forest animal came and eaten and this kind of thing. So they need to survive. So first it came from the survival instinct. Then what happened is that the identity developed, like they become little bit civilized. They started the cooking and storing thing. Agriculture started. so and so things. So the identity came, like it is mine, it is yours, and things like that. So this society started forming. It's no longer just a survival of something. They know the value of the family to be together and all that. As it's together, the society has formed. And there what happened is they needed some entity who will, because of course there are many people, there will be the fighting in between, not with other forces, it's among them. So they need something to discipline people, to keep under control. So they need to impose rules, regulations, guidelines. And as in any rules, regulations, and guidelines, there is a flip side of it, is a punishment. What happens if you don't follow the guideline? What happens if you don't follow the rule? So there, the God has been from the survival, some force to survival, to come to a stage where the God is imposing the rules and regulations. In the name of the God, the rules and regulations have been imposed on people to control the society. Otherwise, it will be out of bound. So they need to install fear in people to control them. Okay, fear in the name of God. Even though I am just explaining all these things in the context of caveman and early civilization, still today these levels exist. The idea of God in different types of people, it depends upon their level of awareness. I will come to that little later. So that those who get carried away with this idea of God, their God is very angry, very revengeful. If you don't do this, you will die, or something like that. So this kind of idea, powerful angry God, it is like a somehow representative of their head of the village, or little higher version of that, or the king, on that sense. Those ideas have been imposed on God. So again, just to remind you, I am explaining understanding of God. I am not explaining who the God is. I'm not explaining that. I'm saying how the human has perceived God. And that is the topic for today. Okay, so after that, what happens was, some people become ambitious, some people become more powerful, physical power. They become the champion, if somebody can kill 2 animals in a day, he can kill 10 animals. So he becomes the leader, or, hero. So like the competitions and all, the war started and all. So then your personal ambition came into picture. You wanted to be in the top. If there is a race, you are the champion. If there is a what is called the archery, or going to hunting, you will be the best hunter. You need the trophy of that hunter. This trait, okay, to be the top, the champion, you have ambition now. So now the God has been created to satisfy your ambition. Here the prayer came, or worshipping came, so that you get more power and you achieve the top, what you wanted to be. Because you are no longer satisfied with eating, staying, and having family and all. You want to achieve something. And whatever the fields are, if it is a war, you have to win the war. If it is a hunting, you are the best hunter. You have to kill the biggest animal of the forest. Something like that. If it is the archery, your arrow should go the furthest and hit the bullseye. Then you are champion. And all these kind of things. So you need somebody to help you to achieve that. Okay. Am I clear what I am saying? I'm saying where the need came. Okay. So then accordingly, God has been given the role of, somebody God favored, he is champion. And somebody not so favored, he's always a loser. Okay. So this kind of concept has been developed and then gone further and all these things. So slowly, the things came. Then the people realized there is much more thing to just for this kind of achievement and all those things. They started this having enough of fight, enough of competition, enough of this. They understood to have a longer duration or to have a prosperity consciousness came. To have prosperity, you need peace. You cannot prosper if you keep on fighting. So you need to protect yourself, you have to guard yourself, but those societies become prosperous who are able to maintain peace. So here God now converted into the peace giver, where you can go and just pray and do something, the peace be upon you. Okay, you want a God who can install peace, maintain peace, and get rid of unnecessary fighting. So you need more powerful than human being to get things done, to maintain peace. This is the first time when it came that people realize that God is loving and forgiving. It is not angry and punishing. Okay. What was earlier concept was. So from there, who are into further exploring that pursuance of that idea of God, they realized there is a huge potential of love. We misunderstood that power and energy so far. They pursued further whatever they love to do. Okay. Here they have come the beauty of art, the great sculpture, great painting, great architecture, the, great design of dress, maybe the dress for the warrior or king or whoever it is, or great poetry, great song, they come. Here, this is nothing to do with your, the survival matter. It is something coming, you tapped an energy which has a creative ability. And here also the perfection can, it is just expression of yourself. There is no need per se for the art. Art, you don't need art to survive. It doesn't cater your food and this thing, protection from the enemies. But it is an outcome of the peace, which has been peace and prosperity. Then you are going into the higher faculty of the human being to get the creation. Then you need another God who is infinitely creative ability, so that you can offer your creation to that God. No human being may understand. There is many art, particularly modern art, even I don't understand what is there. What that line and color means and why this is upside down and all. I don't understand. But anyway, so in our college days, one of my friends, or maybe some of my batchmates will remember, they said there is also a joy of not understanding something. They must to go to some movies of, there's a, I think, movie, art film society or something, and and you spend 2 hours into the movie, you don't understand anything. What what is the purpose of showing, or what that mean? So those came out of that movie, said, you enjoyed? Yes, yes, enjoyed. What you enjoyed? What you understand? No, I didn't understand anything. Then how you enjoy? I enjoy of not understanding it. Okay. So anyway, so some form of, jokes apart, some form of art you are creating for your higher expression. And there you may not get any other human being to appreciate that. So to whom you to offer? You offer to somebody higher than human. Yeah, I'm giving another example. I went to Greece a long time back. In the Greece, one of the area, the sculptures, the metal, I think copper or something they used. They used a chariot. The chariot, all the chariots, somebody is sitting in the chariot, somebody is, there's a sitting in front, who is taking the horses up. So they have showing in the museum, they showed something that even though the human figures, which is below and covered by the dress, those are also very accurately made. Suppose full body covered dress is there, metallic dress. Nobody can see what is there inside. We have an idea of making the earthen idols, no? When we have a Durga Puja and Saraswati Puja and many other pujas in Bengal, and there we have seen how those are made. The structure which is below the dress, no, most of the thing is just a few woods and few straws, nothing else there. Nobody bothered to do anything inside because nobody can see that because it is covered by the dress. But what they are saying, even though nobody can see the human being, why they have so accurately done every nail, every finger is, you can see outside, say from elbow and all those things, very accurately done. Even though they know it's a metal, everything will be covered by the dress. External dress will have a beautiful decoration and full body cover, etc. There is some shield on, the helmet on the top of head and thing like that. But even though say ears are covered with a helmet, but those ears also nicely, properly, accurately sculpted by the metal already done. The analysis, the researchers say, whenever the sculptors used to work on them, they don't think about who will see these things and appreciate. They used to think that I'm offering it to God. God can see everything. So I need to be accurate, even if it is covered from the human eye. So from where these concepts came? That you have to offer your creativity to God. It is still valid. You go and check with any, renowned, creating of who is having taken art as a profession of their life. Great actors, great painters, great singers, always they offer to the divine. They don't sing for people. They sing for that who doesn't have any, flaw. You ask them, you interview them, you will know it, to whom they offer. A.R. Rahman, one of the, I think, Subhash Ghai's movie, maybe, I don't know, I forget the name of the movie. So Subhash Ghai's interview was, he was asking A.R. Rahman to give the, some particularly one song in 2 days' time. Because everything is ready, shooting is ready, hero, heroine ready, we booked and all. So they keep pressing A.R. Rahman. A.R. Rahman said, I have not got it yet. So what they got it? Everything is ready after 2 days and was saying you didn't get it. So then they have to wait for 7 days. A.R. Rahman make the whole unit wait for 7 days. Why? He says, I still didn't get it from God. The tune. I cannot create something out of thing unless until I am guided. I am getting it. I request it. I have not received yet. So look at that. This kind of, the creative people, they are getting it from those sources, Anyway, so this is the creativity part of it. And when you go there, you realize you are a co-creator. Whatever you are going to create, it is already, granted by the original creator. You are just manifesting it. So you are the co-creator. In other sense, you are the co-creator of your realities. Okay. So there, the God with unlimited creative power, who appreciate that absolute fine creations of art. You got that God. Now, from all these things, some people, they got spiritual because they started the meaning of life. What I'm doing here? What is the purpose of all these things? They're asking questions. And from that spiritual journey started. All it started the meaning of life. What human being is doing. Everything on earth is temporary. The reasons what, Buddha, he was Gautam that time. The prince, Gautam left the palace asking those questions. If I have to go through this illness, you saw somebody is sick and somebody carrying to hospital or something. And the old age, you have to age anyway. And you have to die also one day. What is the purpose of life? If everything is taken, and then why, how can I enjoy this? In these fundamental questions, when it started raising, then you pursue that. There are methods developed and all this consciousness has developed. And then you realize that we have to ultimately go to something which is beyond that. It will be, if everything has been manifested, there must be some creator. Or from something, everything is created. So they wanted to pursue that, follow the step to go to reach to that creator, to understand the code of the universe. So why? What is all this? Who am I? So that journey they started, and those journeys, those questions, in pursuit of those, Mahatma Gandhi used the term in search of excellence. Whatever is in the world, all mundane. Where is that perfect one? Where is have with no spots? Absolutely. Is there anything such that? Or if it is, where it is? And they understood it is not possible in the external world. They pursued. Then sages have been developed. The spiritual masters came into the play. Earlier, there was no role of them. Whatever they understood, they shared. Then you got some infinitely creative, infinitely powerful, with infinite, willpower. Means you can do anything just by willing. So all these things came from the idea of the doership and go towards something which is quantum in nature. It's not manifested. It is something in the higher level. To understand that, the play of energy and play of these things, so they reach some place. So in other sense, that is, they having the glimpses of the power of the Creator, and they shared that one. And from that great wisdom came. The great wisdom, great thing about the Creator. And the purpose, the meaning of life, the purpose of life. These questions came. They understood that it is not only a physical thing, not only what we do, there are much thing beyond that. There's more power to tap into. We are not complete unless until in the pursuance of that, we are not complete if you ignore that part of ourselves. And they realize most of the people are not aware of all those things. So that all this awareness and came and all. So that the spiritual world and wisdom has come up. And all aiming towards that, the Creator. Okay. So here the God has come as a creator of everything, is omnipotent, omnipresent entity. It cannot be bound by any role and rule. And you need to have that experience of that. That is the pursuance. So this is the 6th level. Whomsoever has got that, that followed that path, they got enlightened. Enlightened with what? Enlightened with the truth. The awareness has gone so high that they can understand the higher level of phenomena. And many unanswered things earlier, why we are here, what is the purpose, soul's journey, and all those things. And the Creator has created this for what purpose? Everything. So they got answer to everything. All questions are answered. So at the end of that, okay, one thing I should, an interesting thing I will mention here. And the 6th state, when you do find out that kind of energy, that kind of entity, or whatever you call it, they play with a different role, and the role has gone up. They play with that energy like a child. Like, I am child, please take care of me. Then go through like a human growth. I'm talking in the spiritual domain now. You start with, like a father, please take care of me. And I'm a child, spiritually. Then go to a teenage. Then you wanted to play with the God. Then higher level of that is come finally like a friend. God is your friend. You see, the many, like Ramakrishna Paramahansa there, he used to, communicate with the divine entity, divine mother, as tu. तूने मुझे ऐसा क्यों नहीं दिया, and all those things. Of course, in Bengali, means when we say tu, it is a friendship level. We talk, tu, all this kind of, use this level of language with the friends. And from respectable up. So the up महान हो से converted into तू क्या सोचता है, मैं भी ऐसा कर सकता हूँ, तू भी ऐसा कर सकता है, तू अगर ऐसा नहीं देंगे मुझे तो मैं खाना नहीं खाऊंगा, something like that, in tu level, friendship level. Beyond that, they establish all these are relationship with that, the divinity, that power. The highest level of that evolution, the spiritual thing of that level, relationship with so-called God, come to a level, it is like a lovers. That is highest level possible in that stage. And that is symbolized by Radha Krishna. Great lovers. Okay. That is, it is like a love affair. Nobody can live without the other. So that is highest form of relationship you can have with the divine. Okay, people misunderstood and misinterpreted many things. I'm not talking about that. But highest level possible is a lover. There is no barrier between you and the God. Nothing is needed. Okay, and that state, yeah, in the what I say, in the without getting a right word, yeah, but it is a hard-hitting word. I'll use it here now. You are naked in front of your lover. You have nothing to hide. That is the state between you and the divine. Okay, that form, when you go to that level, you are merged with that. You cannot leave that like the Mirabai and all. The surrendered, with a lover. That is the highest form of devotion. Okay. The whole story of human idea of God could have been ended here, but it didn't. But this is not the truth. Truth is beyond that. Okay. By the way, this level also symbolizes and Shiva and Shakti, that Ardhanarishwar and all this. This is a symbolism, highest level of relationship you have with the divine. Okay. You can say Prakriti and Purush, means like divine masculine, divine feminine, or anything. All those things. What is that? Chi and Chin, that the symbol in, they call it anyway. The Chinese, that symbol, white and black circles. Yeah. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So all these basically divine masculine, divine feminine. If you see the symbol, the black part has a white core in it, and the white part has a black core in it. If you see the symbol, and they're intermingled with each other. Okay, this is the divine combination of these two energies. So that is the highest level possible of the relationship point of view. Now, what is left behind? Where even the relationship drops, because there is no one else. You are the one. The oneness is felt. Oneness, not duality. And Guruji Prem Nirmalji says, the seeker is sought. To whom you are searching, you are that. That's why you will never get it. How can you get something if yourself, you are that? So when you realize that yourself, direct, okay, you realize that you are the creator. You know not to search anywhere else. Okay. That is the highest level of realization. It is you who created. We are all one. So you created this universe. You created this nature. If you pray, you will feel like you are praying to yourself. Okay, like you are giving some Anjali or flower is coming back to showering on you back. So that realization is a realization of oneness. That is ultimate. You are the creator. There's no one else. Relationship not possible. Love affair to whom? You are the one. You are everything. So then you go back to this original consciousness, which is I call universal consciousness. I don't use the word God because God means any one of these seven to someone because of the level of their awareness. So, by the way, one interesting point, Amarjyoti ji explains God as who is God? And he said God means G is for generator, O is the operator, and D is the destroyer. Who has generated, operated, and destroyed the universe? That entity is God. Okay, this is another way, beautiful way of explaining things.
That means Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar.
Yeah. That is symbol. But moment we say Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, that the Jatadhari came from Maheshwar, Basiwala came from Vishnu, the Krishna or Vishnu, Sudarshan Chakra came, and Brahma with faces came. So then you identify that. So the energetic point is missed. That is the point I was earlier mentioning. Because the idea-wise, we have so different ideas, so then we stick to our idea, not what it is. Okay, and this is the reason I don't mention the word God at all. You can have any of this idea. Your idea where God is punishing. If I don't do this, God will punish me. God will never punish anyone. It is my understanding from where I am looking at God or looking at the issue. And accordingly, my reaction will be there. Okay. Now, beauty is whatever I have explained so far, it can be easily understood if you link this with chakras. We have 7 chakras in the body. No? If your predominating chakra is the first one, Muladhara, you will be having that survival thing as your God. The main chakra is that. Your operating level of your chakra will determine how you perceive God. Okay. Now I explained the characters of that God, and it is linked to that. It will fit somewhere one of these 7 scales of your idea of God. There is nothing wrong. Nothing. I'm saying whatever the angry and punishing God, they're not wrong. They perceived from the operating level of first chakra. Okay. So like that, and the creative abilities and loving things all are linked to a level of operations of your which predominating chakra you're operating from. You're operating from Shastra, you will always feel oneness. There's no one else. Ramana Maharshi, somebody has asked, what happened to others? Then he asked, who is others? I don't see anybody other. They're all part of me. Okay, that is to be truly felt. There is no other. And he is right. And just some interesting thing. Amarjyoti ji, somebody asked, why I'm suffering so much of karma, this karmic thing, when my karma will end. Then he told, there is no karma. Okay, we got shocked. We have heard so many things, so many masters saying law of karma. Amarjyoti is saying there is nothing called karma. So then it's giving me call. Dada, Amarjyoti says there is no karma. And what should I believe now? I'm totally confused. So I said, okay, calm down. Okay. The level where he is operating, there is no karma. That is correct. You have to reach to his level to get that kind of understanding. Like if you take a flight beyond the cloud level, then and stay there. Suppose you have taken balloon or aircraft or International Space Center, you stay there always. You can say there is nothing called rain, there is no mud, there is no road with potholes. All are true. There is no storm. There is no sea tide, no tsunami. So, oh, that is a great. There is nothing there. No flood. Just because you have lifted yourself to a certain level where these things won't affect you. Okay, so that is true. But at that level, it cannot be applied retrospectively at the lower level. So that is the right understanding. To get rid of karma, you have to go there. You have to reach there by your sadhana. Then karma will not affect you. No enlightened masters have even any karma. Okay. But who are below that level, they suffered their karma. It's correct. And the level of Amarjyoti karma doesn't exist. Okay. Karma is an illusion. That is correct. Karma is an illusion. But you have to undergo with the illusion, get effect of that. Till you go beyond that illusionary world, you have to face that. If you're on the ground, you have to face the rain, you have to face the mud, you have to face the road and traffic and all this kind of stuff. So that is the understanding. So, all right, I will just, so now if there's any question, so I will answer that. So this is about that understanding of God.
Guruji, this aspect of we all are and appearing in different forms, this is not gelling. You see, everyone is different. Somebody, you say, is from Saudi Arab, somebody is from India, somebody is from Bangladesh, different forms. But how they become one, that is only when probably when you go up and you reach the level of Sastrar, then only you say they are one. But
Yeah.
when we are operating at lower level, we see everybody is different.
No, that is correct. Because that was the need of the society that time. They need to, that I explained, no?
Hanji.
Somewhere while explaining how it is formed, they needed some God to keep the people under control, discipline, to maintain the discipline. It was needed for the social reasons, not your individual spiritual reason. Okay, that's how it is developed. It has got a role to play. Okay, because otherwise people don't listen to anything. Okay, so that's why many kings and all, they use this religion and other things to keep the people under control or to avoid unnecessarily fighting and things like that, killing people each other. So that's what the need of the society. But in that, it is learned. In that way also the lessons are learned, and slowly then, and that is where all those, the people came up, the sages and munis and rishis and spiritual scholars, they came up and then they shared their knowledge. In the lower level, they're different, of course. Yes, Samnath.
Would you please, in gist, tell the 7 levels once again, because I missed 1 or 2.
I will post it. I will post it.
Please,
I'll post it in the group. Yeah?
Okay, right. Thank you.
And just for the easy identification, you can go with if you can identify the each chakra and their main characteristics, it will match with that.
Okay.
Okay, if you just read the characteristic of the chakra, forget about the god for the time being.
Okay, right, understood.
It will match. It will equivalent. Like I'm just repeating now. All of you know the lowermost chakra, Muladhara, is for survival.
Right.
Next, Svadhisthana is for the pleasure. All these kinds of pleasures, things. And then third one is ambition, Manipura.
Okay.
Okay, which supports ambitions. God was created like that. Then the fourth one is a loving, forgiving. Heart chakra. Throat is the creativity, creative abilities.
Okay.
Communication.
Right.
All this. So who supports the creativity, that forms the God. The art forms. Okay, higher level of pursuit. The art form may not be physical. Like I will give example of abstract art and all. It is something, some world which is not perceived in the practical level. But in that imagination level, it is possible to reach there.
Right.
Okay, a painter can paint sky is some green and grass is blue. It is possible. Nobody can stop that. It's a zone of creativity.
Right.
Okay, so he can paint it like that, and that will become a wonderful piece of paint. That not necessarily follow the ground reality. Anyway,
Right.
Those are the creative thing. And if you go to the third eye, is the wisdom. All spiritual knowledge, all pursuance, all these things come. Okay.
Right.
And then the last one is the Sahasrar, when you get connected, completely immersed into the divine.
So feel the oneness.
Yeah. You are permanently connected to that divinity, the oneness or universal consciousness. Okay, so if you go to that, you will understand that what I'm saying, I'm giving a pointer so that you can understand which role the God has played in human evolution.
Right.
It's all about history of human evolution. All your 7 chakras are the 7 level of evolution.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Okay. God bless you. Fine. So then we shall now, if there any other question, then we'll.
Hey, Rajdeep.
Yes, Nemo.
So why creativity comes after love?
Yes. There's a question?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the creative things are all about passion. You cannot create something unless until you have a passion. Okay. It cannot be mechanically created. Okay. So for that, the love has to come first. You need to love that whatever you are doing, because otherwise there is no need. You cannot eat a painting, no? So that is no need to survive. So the love has to come first, and passion is love in action. Whatever you are passionate about, you can create an art form out of that. So that's why the love has come first and then creativity.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
Guruji, one question.
Yes, Rishi.
So this we are all like operating from some level or the other chakra. So how do we identify which level are we operating?
If you can note down there are many ways, but if you can note down do your exercise and note down the type of thoughts you are thinking. Okay, just a journal for yourself. No need to show to anyone. By analyzing that, it can be told which is your predominant chakra level.
Okay.
Okay, so that is one way of that establishing that your operating level of your chakra.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And but by the way, it is not always stable, stay at the same place. That's why I mentioned the word
Yes.
dominating.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone goes through all seven some point
Mm-hmm.
of time. Okay. But whichever you are normally predominating,
Yes.
where you stay, you can travel anywhere, but where you stay, which locality you stay, where is your home, that determines the level you are operating from.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. No other question? Because this is a very controversial topic. I was expecting many questions. This one. All right, fine.